You're watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.
Welcome to Chiller Theater with Ned the Dead, Dr. Moreau, and Edna the Talking Skull. Tonight, the Vampire Bat. Ladies and gentlemen, Ned the Dead.
Chiller Theater, it's my kind of show. I almost didn't get my glasses off in time. It's my show, you know. Hey everybody, it's Chiller Theater. I'm Ned the Dead. It's disturbing, it's upsetting, it's late night television personified. It's our gift to you, the marginal television viewer. It's here for you tonight. Hey everybody, tonight's movie, I love saying hey everybody, by the way. Say it a couple more times. Hey everybody. It's The Vampire Bat, friends. It's the kind of movie that you gotta love. It's an old-time horror movie with a lot of funky stuff in it. Quite a lot of fun on the docket for you tonight. So what I suggest now is open your cell phone, go to the phone book part, message all, and tell your friends, wake them up, everybody. It's time for the Amazing Chiller Theater. And now the most amazing part of Chiller Theater, it's Doc Moreau's movie lore. He shares, he regales, he loves.
With the Universal horror movies making big box office, Majestic Pictures decided to give it a shot with The Vampire Bat. They got to shoot nights on the Universal backlot, which is why it's always so freaking dark, and hired some of the most popular actors of the day. There's Lionel Atwill, who appeared in many of those Universal horror classics. Remember the scene-stealing inspector with the mechanical wooden arm in Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein? That was a parody of Lionel Atwill's character in Son of Frankenstein. There's Dwight Frye, also a Universal regular, famous for his offbeat performances in the original Frankenstein and Dracula. There's Fay Wray, famous for her role in the original King Kong, which came out the same year. Hey, did you know she was going to appear at the end of Peter Jackson's King Kong remake to say the famous line, "It was Beauty killed the Beast," but sadly passed away just before. And in her memory, the Empire State Building went into complete darkness for 15 minutes. Here's something else to keep in mind tonight. When the townsfolk chased Dwight Frye into a cave, that was shot near the Hollywood sign in Bronson Canyon. Tons of movies and TV shows were shot there, even the Chiller classics She-Demons and Teenagers from Outer Space. But that famous cave is actually a tunnel. Move the camera too far one way or the other, and you'll see the light at the other end. You gotta love the lore. Ned?
Doc Moreau, friends, he's big, he's beautiful, he's knowledgeable, and very, very interested in your life. That should scare you. It scares the heck out of me, I'll tell you that, everybody. Anybody who's taken the time to know that much about these movies obviously spent far too much time in mom's basement as a child, if you know what I'm saying. We're going to head out, everyone, to the enjoyable Vampire Bat, a movie for you and yours from Chiller Theater. Here we go, everybody. Roll it, Lester.
Ooh, Majestic Pictures. That always reminds me of that old slogan for Miracle Pictures.
What's that?
If it's a good picture, it's a miracle.
So this guy's out looking for night crawlers or what?
Probably have better luck with night flyers in this movie.
But how else can we explain these terrible deaths? Von Eltz last night, 5 others before him, that's 6 within as many weeks, Inspector. Our friends, neighbors that we'd known for years, drained of their life's blood, found dead in bed, lifeless skeletons of skin and bone. Vampires are at large, I tell you, vampires.
Yeah. Malignant demons who issue forth from their graves in the dead of night to attack their victims and drink the blood from their veins.
Gotten him of Red Schneider, don't jest.
Ah, that blood-sucking legend belongs in the same category with werewolves and all other peasant superstitions.
Yeah, like chupacabras, succubuses.
Nielsen families, superdelegates.
Superdelegates! Where?
But the bats, man. The bats. God, yes. Big ones, so.
Oh, now we're switching to bats again.
There was an epidemic of giant bats in Klein Schloss in 1643. And at the same time, there was an outbreak of vampirism.
Rot.
Why, this record from the town archives proves it.
Says it, not proves it.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you. Now, here it is. And on this day was von Hausmann hanged from a gibbet in the public square after being convicted on a proven charge of vampirism. And on this same day, there did occur the departure of the bats. Thousands of horrible flying creatures which infested the town for weeks. And on the night of this same day, February 13, in the year of our Lord, 1643, was there a stake driven through von Hausmann's heart and his head cut off with a grave digger's shovel.
I hope it was a clean shovel.
I hope it was a sharp shovel. It probably takes a couple of whacks to hack off a vampire's head, don't you think?
There.
Well, all the records in the world can't make me believe in vampires. There are blood-sucking bats, yes. In South America, thousands of miles from here, but not in Kleinschloss.
Kleinschloss!
Gesundheit. Ugh.
But bats fly. They could fly here. You saw the bodies. All of them. 2 wounds on the neck, right at the jugular vein. 2 wounds on the neck, pierced and spread apart just as if 2 fang-like teeth had bitten through the flesh and right into the veins. And in every case, a blood clot, 8 inches from the victim's neck. The mark of the feast, the devil's signature.
Does that appear the mark of a human being or a demon's?
God save us, the devil's.
You ought to make a pretty fair meal for a vampire. But let's be consistent. Are these human vampires or bats?
Vampires can take the shape of a human or a bat, just as they choose.
Oh, they're magicians. Well, it doesn't make sense to me.
The whole village is in terror. We live in closed houses, behind locked doors and bolted shutters, not daring to close our eyes, fearful lest this unseen silent death may find us in our sleep, for it is then that it strikes, swiftly, silently, ghastly. My room is tightly closed. The windows are barred, nailed down. Nothing can get in. Nothing.
But they tell me vampires can go through stone walls like that.
God save me, so they can. We've got to do something, I tell you. Klein Schloss will become a deserted village.
Well, you might catch all the bats and drown them in the river.
Carl.
While you're hunting for vampires and chasing bats, I'm looking for a human being. A murderer, a fiend.
Well, then don't jest about it. Do something.
I'm trying to. Every hour, every day, every night since this thing started.
Do you hear it? Hear it? Yes. Night after night. Lying awake until dawn. Waiting.
For what?
The Today Show?
Matt and Meredith, Al and Ann.
Not me. I wait for bacon and pancakes and fresh squeezing.
Ugh.
I don't know.
That's what I thought. Good night, gentlemen. Don't let the vampires get you.
What's with you, Doc?
That's Fay Ray. Remember how she screamed her lungs out all through King Kong?
Oh, wait, that's right.
Are your kisses dynamite?
Don't you like my kisses? Well, how's my mastermind this evening?
Well, if you want the truth, not so good.
The Burgermeister and his Grand Council still stick to the vampire theory.
Stick to it. Huh. They're quoting history to prove it. I think you and Dr. von Niemann are the only sane people left in the village.
And you? What about you?
Me? Well, I'm beginning to think I'm 7 different kinds of a fool. Murders are being done under my very nose. I must be as blind as the bats themselves. I can't find a single clue.
Oh, but you will, Carl. You will.
Well, I haven't.
Oh, Ruth!
Hey, Aunt Bee.
Hi, Aunt Bee.
And here comes dear Aunt Gussie to spread good cheer and hope.
Just what I thought. Slaving your life away in this awful place. It hasn't got that nice, clean, wholesome smell of a hospital. How are you, Carl?
Oh, quite well, thank you.
Well, I'm not. This clammy old place is bound to give me pericarditis, enterocolitis, neuritis, well, anyway, rheumatism. You have some coffee?
No, thank you, Frau Schlappmann.
No, just as well. There's only 2 cups. Yeah. That'll take the chill out of your bones.
Thank you.
Speaking of chills, Frau Schnappmann, did you know the village is supposed to be infested with ghouls and vampires?
Oh.
Vampires. Pariahs among fiends. Demoniacal creatures with huge canine teeth who bite deeply into the necks of their victims to quaff and gorge on blood. Warm human blood.
There's no such thing as a vampire, Carl Brett Snyder. I don't believe in it. You're just saying that to frighten me. And I just won't be frightened. I'm entirely too sensible to believe in such rubbish.
I beg pardon.
Oh, so it's you.
I'm sorry if I frightened you.
Who said you frightened me? I'm not afraid of anything.
Could you tell me where Dr. von Niemann is?
We drove to the village to see Martha, the old apple woman.
Thank you.
Is this what Dr. Haupt prescribed?
Yes, sir. She takes it in water.
I'd rather take it in scotch.
Oh,
Well, continue giving it to her.
Yes, sir.
look, it's Steve Carell.
The 40-year-old virgin? Yeah, looks about right.
It's stifling in here. Open these windows.
Herman open windows. Me do.
Well, she'll sleep well now, poor soul.
It won't be necessary for you to stay here. A good night's sleep will work wonders for her.
It was kind of you to come, Doctor.
Oh. Martha has sold me apples for many years. Always a good, ripe, juicy one.
Martha, give me apples. I like.
Oh, Josephine. Oh, good.
She wants her cross.
Herman, get. Here. Now, there. For Martha. There. No.
She won't let it out of her sight.
A terrible experience. To be attacked by a giant bat is enough to shatter anyone's nerves.
She talks about it all the time. How it flew in her face and tried to sink its teeth in her throat.
No. Bats no do. They soft. Like cat.
Oh, the little one. Oh, to touch and feel the little... Oh, they are soft like cat.
I think I'm starting to like this guy.
Oh, the little witty one. Yes, move for me. Oh, good boy. That's a good boy like cat. That's a little body bat. Oh, the poco. Somebody bitty bat. A little flippy. The flippy bat.
They not bite Herman.
Be quiet, Herman. See what you've done.
There, Martha, there. She'll be all right. If she isn't, let me know.
Thank you for coming, Doctor.
That's all right. Good night.
Good night. Run along, Herman. You can see Martha tomorrow.
Oh.
Hey, everybody, it's Chiller Theater. There you go, Doc. Doc, you're on the wrong side of the booth, my friend.
Doc, what are you doing? Stop that! Doc! No! Man, no! Stop that!
He's soft like cat.
That's no do. It's soft like cat. Let me touch the bed. Oh, it is soft like cat. It is soft.
Oh, he likes you.
Stop! I don't want him to like me.
You.
I'm not really interested when flying mammals like me. You know what I'm saying? Do you people know? Here's a little bit of lore. No, you know what, Fred's? The way he does that tells me that occurs in his regular life as well, in ways that we can only imagine. Do that again. That horrible little move that you were just doing. I'm guessing that he does that, and ain't no bat around. You know what I'm saying, friends? That is not that appealing. You know, let me tell you about the bat, friends. Stop the bat from moving. The bat is, of the bat, there are more types of bats than any other mammal. Did you know that? They are, in fact, of the mammals, they are the mammals that have the most different types. And mammal means that doesn't it mean that they breastfeed? Let's flip that baby over one time. Look at him! Look at the hooters on that bat! Oh my goodness! Wait, cover the horrible bat boobs.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the ring! And there's a hard drive to the jaw! And Blue Bomber's block is knocked off! His block is knocked off?
Sure, but you can press it right back on again. It's just part of the action with the world's only boxing robots, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots by Marx. Takes 2 managers to handle the fighters and lots of skill to win. With these control levers, you can keep your fighters in motion to duck punches. When you press this plunger, he throws a right uppercut. Press the other plunger, and there's a left jab. Lots of exciting action and fun for everyone when the world's only boxing robots battle it out.
The Blue Bomber's looking for an opening, and there it is. That's the end of round 2.
Just push the flying head back, and you're ready for round 3.
Boy, this is the greatest.
You bet. The world's only boxing robots. Get the Rock'em Sock'em Robots by Marx.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody, we're back on Chiller Theater. Sorry, I know. I don't try it. All right, stand there again. I'm going to ease into it this time. Let's see if I can ease into it and go low and then big. You ready? Hey everybody, welcome to Chiller Theater. That was that kind of. I don't do well with kind of manipulata, you know, the up and down sort of. Yeah. I don't have a lot of.
You like to spike it.
No, I like to let her rip. Spike. Yeah, I've had actually. There's been quite a lot of ear surgery for the audio guys that have been involved in this show. You know, usually they're like, you know, texting someone or because obviously not paying attention, and then you know everything's quiet, and then hey everybody, you come out with that, and you just launches them right off of their horrible thing that they're sitting on. A lot of times the crew uses those weird exercise balls. Why do they sit on those? What is it that they're, you'd see that? I mean, what are they doing out there? They're all bouncing. Apparently, well, you know, they had that deal for a while in the workplace where they were going to try and integrate exercise into the workplace, and some people used to bring those stupid balls to work, and they'd be at their computer doing, you know, bouncing up and down. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen? Or when they had the chairs, when they first made the ergonomic chairs that was like didn't have a back, so it was like a milking stool with a place, and the words milking stool should never be used either. Let me say also, that not good. Let me just say that those are words, you better have that in the right sentence, friends.
Chocolate milk?
No, stop. No, stop. No, once again, milking stool has to be said in a sentence, and it's the way you emphasize it. It has to be milking stool. You know what I'm saying? Because that, of course, something that when they would do this, you know, with the udders, that they would. All right. So, friends, Chiller Theater, let's go. We're going to go enjoy something called Strange Moments in Film. It's a montage of unusual stuff collected over the years. We hope you like it, or what?
The progeny of these dogs will generally do better in field trials.
Hey, watch the microphone.
Watch the microphone. To hell with the head, huh?
All right, kids.
Few outsiders realize how heavily the stars rely on makeup to create for them the TV image their public expects.
Still using that greasy kid stuff on your head?
Sure, why not?
Why not? Just look at yourself.
Dear, don't you think it needs a little more salt? Mother, please! I'd rather do it myself!
That's the way, stupid. You'd rather do it yourself, huh?
May I watch you brush your teeth?
What?
I say, may I watch you brush your teeth?
Eat it.
But I just want to watch.
Okay. You're so crazy about seeing teeth brushed. Here, brush them yourself. Only get out of here and let me have some privacy.
everybody, we're back on Chiller Theater. Now, you know, part of the world...
Hey, everybody.
I think what you're realizing, friends, is, see, the TV has changed now. It used to be, on a show like Chiller Theater, we could go rampage on for a minute, 32 minutes, about whatever, and then we'd run our movie, and then we'd come back. See, but nowadays, you know, now that there are so many sources of entertainment, now that there's 400 channels to watch, it's all about content, baby. That's what they say. It's all content. The producers, they're harping content all the time, where to me, content used to be the least of my worries. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Well, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, what we just showed you is part of our continuing quest to provide content. Some of you may not love the horror movie, yet are tuned in because you're either non-ambulatory or for whatever reason, your remote doesn't work anymore or whatever, and therefore you're looking for something to interest you. For you, we gave you that segment in an effort to make this just a little more palatable, so you maybe hang in a little bit longer and we harm you a little bit more.
So when you say content, you mean filler.
Right, exactly.
With this stuff between the commercial breaks.
That is correct,
when we make the money.
That's exactly right. The filler is the content that we're showing. But again, we're here for you because we love you and we're giving you whatever it is we have and putting it together in a way that melds and makes a delicious melange, kind of like that Simply Fruit, that's not jam and is just fruit, kind of like that.
Dr. Von Niemann.
Kringen, how are you?
Much better, thank you kindly, sir, since you prescribed for me.
That's right.
Go to bed, Herman. Go to bed. You shouldn't be prowling around the streets. Dangerous. Oh. I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what, Kringen?
The bats, sir. Big giant bats with wings like an eagle's.
You saw this bat, you say?
I saw it swooping down the street. It came directly for my throat, sir.
When was this, Kringen?
Last night when they came to take Von Eltz. It was a big monstrous thing. I saw it leap across the alley and into a window. I ran just as fast as my legs could carry me.
You said nothing about this?
There's enough fear in the village already. Maybe I should. I will. I'll tell the Burgermeister.
Yes, Kringen. That's the thing to do.
No. Bats good. They not hurt Herman. He plays with them. You no tell. No. Go to bed, Herman. Go on, go to bed.
You say he plays with bats?
His garret is filled with them. He makes pets of them.
That's odd. Very odd.
Maybe he's it. Herman prowls around the streets all hours of the night, just like an animal. Maybe he's the vampire.
Now, don't start any gossip about that, Kringen. Heaven only knows where it might end. Good night.
Good night, sir. There. Now. So nice. There. See? What did I tell you?
Perhaps there's something in what Kringen says. Seems strange that a human being should want to play with bats.
He isn't human, I tell you. He's in league with the devil.
Put it on. Put it on. There. Thanks.
Now go to sleep. You'll be all right in a few days. The doctor says so.
Close the window. Close the window. I'm afraid. The vampire.
He said leave them open, but I'd have them closed. Do you want the light?
Leave the light. I'm afraid.
Well, I can't blame you for that either. I'll turn it down a little. Good night. If you want me, just pound on the floor. I'll hear you.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Martha.
Oh.
Herr Brett Schneider is here to see you, sir. He's in the laboratory with Miss Berton.
Oh, thank you. Ah, here you are.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Ruth. How are you, Carl?
Well, I'd feel a lot better if I could find the solution to these murders.
You don't believe in this vampire theory, then?
Of course not. Do you?
There are many strange happenings, my boy. Many mysteries beyond the power of the human mind to comprehend.
Have you a theory which might explain these deaths?
Well, I'll be pleased to discuss it with you, but not now, not now. I have some very important work to do.
Well, tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow? Yes, perhaps. We'll see. Oh, this isn't so important, Miss Betty, that you can't let it go till tomorrow?
All right, thank you, Doctor. Oh, how about Martha?
Huh? Oh, nothing serious. Just a case of nerves, that's all. Good night.
Good night,
Doctor. Good night, Carl.
That looks suspicious. Maybe he's the vampire.
Maybe he's got a bat cave deep beneath his stately manor.
Yeah, maybe that.
Name?
Martha Muller.
Age?
I don't know.
Cause of death?
Like all the rest.
A vampire?
Yes, that's so. When I said I was going to tell you, his eyes glowed up like coals of fire. His hand reached out towards me, as if he were going to sink it into my throat.
And weigh this well. He never works and never begs, and yet he appears well-fed always. That's so, he does.
I bathe.
Well, what does he live on, then? I'll wager it's as Kringen says.
And my woman was in Martha's room tonight when Herman put a flower in your hand.
Strange business, if you ask me. Mighty strange.
I hate to be in your shoes, Kringen.
Yes, after what happened tonight, I'd locked myself in my room and prayed God to protect me from the devil.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening. Dr. von Niemann. Doctor.
Well, what do you make of it, Doctor?
Are these two wounds similar to those found on the other bodies?
Dr. Haupt can answer that for you, sir.
Yes, they were the same in every case.
This is a strange condition, Carl. So strange that I doubt the evidence of my eyes. What was your conclusion, Haupt?
I diagnosed the wounds as having been made by needle-sharp teeth. Punctures are clean cut, penetrating into, but not beyond, the jugular vein.
Do you mean to say that you also believe they could have been made by teeth?
Frankly, I do.
Ah, you see, Brett Schneider?
What kind of teeth, Doctor?
An animal of some sort. It's hard to say. The fangs of a wolf, perhaps.
A werewolf.
Could they have been made by, well, a bat, for instance?
A certain species, yes. There are vampire bats. Dr. William Jamison, who explored many of the tributaries of the upper Amazon, states that blood-sucking bats do exist. He further asserts that the victims often become blood drinkers themselves, citing a case in which he saw a native tortured to death in an anthill by his tribe brothers. They swore he had become a human bat, and, states Jamison, he confessed it.
Do you mean to say that such a thing as a human vampire is possible?
Who can say? Historic records would have us believe that an evil soul, assuming there is such, can take any shape it pleases.
So why not into that of a human being? Eh, Carl? Why not?
Have you any literature on the subject, Doctor?
Yes, I have many interesting volumes on my shelves that might prove very enlightening. I'll be glad to show them to you.
I don't mind admitting that I'm up a tree. Stumped.
Well, we'll see what can be done, my boy.
No, Herman. This is no place for you. Go away, my boy. Go away.
Good night, John. Good night, Doctor. Good night, Hal.
Good night, Doctor.
In the morning, Carl.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm sorry to have dragged you out at such an ungodly hour.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Ah!
A child fleeing in horror from the sight of death.
There goes the vampire. Arrest him. Lock him up. Kill him.
Has the entire village gone mad? Herman wouldn't harm a baby, and you know it.
I've walked the streets of this village for over 40 years, but tonight's the end. He knows that I've totally played with bats. He knows that I saw him sneak into Martha's house just before midnight.
Perhaps he was taking her another flower, Kringan. The boy brought her one this evening while I was there.
He killed her just like he did all the rest. And now he's going to kill me. Unless he's killed in a stake driven through his heart, I'm a doomed man. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. I'm doomed. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. I'm a doomed man. He'll kill me.
Hey, everybody, we're back at Chiller Theater. What do you say there, Big Doc? Now, friends, we've talked before about our music here on Chiller Theater. Dun, 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 dun. You know what? We love the music, and we are indebted to a certain performer and a couple of performers for writing and producing that excellent track. Obviously, our friend Ron Jeremy was part of that mix, someone whom we love and enjoy here on Chiller Theater, as was the incomparable Daryl St. John, who is the preeminent guitar player in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, Daryl has a new band. It's called the Daryl St. John Band. Daryl always creative and always coming up with something new. And basically, friends, this is a band that they just released a new CD called War of Blue. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Daryl, man's been around a long time. The man can play, friends. Always been a favorite of mine. So what we did was we sent one of our talented crew guys, one of the dudes that makes the show. See, we're really nothing. It's really the guys on the crew.
We're
they
just
make all
filler.
the good stuff. Right, we're the filler. They make the good stuff. He went down and captured the CD release party for the Daryl St. John Band's new CD, War of Blue, available at the Exclusive Company and at other fine outlets. Friends, check this out.
On sale now. War of Blue, Daryl St. John Band.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Will do, Bell Beauty Bar will do, things for you no soap can do.
No soap so mild, yet clean so clean as Vel Beauty Bar. And Vel leaves no soapy bathtub ring.
Things no soap can do for you, Bell Beauty Bar will do.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Letters, we get letters, and the letters and the letters that we love to enjoy. Hey friends, it's Chiller Theater. It's time for letters. We have another fabulous letter. Actually, we got a pile of them. You know, and again, I rent that dumb box. I know I complained one time. You know, you go rent that box from the postal, you know, it is, you know, think about the money they make on that deal, right? I am renting basically a jail cell for a mouse. It is like a, what is it? 3x4 hunk of air is really what it is. Yet you're paying $89.90 for 3 months of that or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that's like printing money, my friend. It's like, well, what we'll do is we'll make this wall of air and we'll sell them a bunch of air and then every once in a while we'll stick letters into it. Oh, that is pretty cool. But having said that, I used to spend the $89. I'd go there every 4 weeks is about how often I checked that. And there would be, you know, one thing or nothing. And now it's lately been packed with goodies. And this is what we want from you people. Send us stuff because it helps the show and then you get to have your stuff on and it's kind of neat. All right, so today's letter is from Gregory, ladies and gentlemen. It has an Oshkosh postmark. Of course, he doesn't put any return address on it. And after we had it scanned by the authorities and checked by the dogs and all that kind of stuff, and the dogs aren't checking for anything dangerous. We just like to have dogs involved with our mail. You know what? I just like the thought that the dogs spend some time with the letters before I get them. You know what I mean? And they're not even really the dogs that can do anything. One's a cockapoo and one is a Shih Tzu. And they, an interesting, what do you call a combination of those two dogs? I don't even want to know. Okay, good. You know what I mean? Never really thought about that one before. Wow. I wonder if there is a name. I think you just call it a mutt at that point. You know what I mean? What kind of dog is it? It's a mutt.
And it's two rear ends. It's no head. Two rear ends.
This, again, the reason
Just
Doc Moreau's on the show, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times he sits back there nodding, and then every once in a while he comes through with the gem, much like that right there. That was a gem, dude. That was sweet. That was, I like the way you did that.
They're both wagging.
Oh, yeah, they're both, yeah, wagging itself into a little pile. You know, not as easy for the dog to eat. You know, but I guess it trains one of its butts to enjoy. All right, I think we need to stop that right now. Butt training of the dog is probably about the point where we've crossed over. What time is it, by the way? Hopefully it's 3 a.m. because I believe there's an FCC regulation. Thank you. All right, here we go. Now, we do it once again. It's letters on Chiller Theater.
Hey, folks.
All right. Hey, everybody. Okay, we got this letter from Gregory, and it says, Dear Ned and Dr. Moreau, what is the name of your theme song?
Oh, I always just call it
What? I don't think we have a name. I think maybe we do need to name that baby. Maybe we should call it Ring of Fire, but I believe that's already been used. So, okay, here's what Gregory says. Every time I hear it, I strip to my undies. Wait, okay, let me go on. Every time I hear it, I strip to my undies and do my patented, uncontrollable robot dance. Needless to say, I need to hear it more. Extended play version, please. Regards, Gregory. Below is a picture of me. Oh, no. All right, well, here for the stripping of Gregory. Here now, the Chiller Theater unnamed theme song. Go. Again, friends, filler. That's what we call it here, everybody.
Filler theater.
Filler Filler Theater. That's right, we're going to change the name. Actually, it's... Hey, I think I heard someone say Filler Theater. Do they have a speech impediment? No, they changed the name. They finally wised up and said what it really is. It's Filler Theater. That, again, you had two funny things in one break, Doc. That's, I believe that's a record. There he's bat dancing. Look at him, the horrible. Bring up the music again, let's go. More horrible bat dancing, everyone. All right, if you want to send letter here like Gregory did, and I don't know that you should. Let's, if you wish to send it, you may send it to Chiller Theater, P.O. Box 22404, Green Bay. Boys, I am so pleased with you. You know, it's taken 24 years for them to finally crack. Green Bay, 54305. Send it and enjoy.
Good morning, Mr. Brett Schneider. What brings you to Kleinschloster Whaley?
You.
Fibber, I heard the doctor tell Georgiana he expected you.
I knew there was something else.
You're a delightful prevaricator, Carl, but not a very convincing one.
You don't mind me using your stethoscope, do you, Doctor?
Not at all, Frau Schnappmann. But what seems to be the ailment this morning?
What's that? Oh.
What seems to be the ailment this morning?
Well, Doctor, I am positive that I have valvular leakage of the aorta. Or maybe it's the right ventricle. There is something wrong with my heart. I can hear it beat, thump, 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 just like the book says.
Well, if you didn't hear it beating thump, 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 just as the book says, I would say there is something wrong.
What? Without a moon?
You have a heart of stone.
All right, then. Close your eyes. No.
Oh, so, young lady.
It's too early in the morning, Carl. Much too early.
Oh, is it?
Oh, there's Aunt Gussie.
She would show up just at a time like this.
Well, Aunt Gussie, what's the matter now?
A palpitation of the auricular, ventricular, and mitral valves. With a cardiac tendency.
You mean your heart's beating?
Of course it's beating. Dr. Von Neelen tried to assure me, but I know it's serious. I'm liable to go just like that.
Did he prescribe for you, dear?
Yes, monacid ester, salicylic acid.
You mean salicylic acid, don't
Well,
you?
salicylic, it helps me. My heart is much quieter. Hello, Carl.
Hello.
Oh, Carl, you'll be good to her when I'm gone, won't you?
Yes, of course I will, Frau Schnappmann.
Well, I'm not gone yet. You can't marry her unless I say so. Don't forget that. Oh, my heart.
There, Auntie, you'll be all right. Just rest a while. What you need is
What?
rest, dear, and quiet. And Gussie has a heart like a steam engine.
Come on.
I'm confused. Is Herman a bat or a cat?
Don't you know it's wrong to steal? You cut yourself.
See? Blood.
Yes. Stop it, stop it.
No hurt me. No hurt.
Oh, you poor thing. Now, you wait right here and I'll run in the house and get something for that finger. A subcutaneous wound like that might easily result in a tetanus infection. Tetanus. Lockjaw. Not that you need be afraid. The way you talk, I think you've got it already. Look, here's a nice juicy apple for you.
Ah, this is it. Traits sur les apparitions des esprits et sur les vampires by Augustin Dom Calame in 1746. Let us suppose that these corpses do not actually stir from their tombs, that only the ghosts or spirits appear to the living. Wherefore do these phantoms present themselves, and what is it that energizes them? Is it actually the soul of the dead man which has not yet departed to its final destination?
Fiddlestick. Now, how could a corpse buried under 4 or 5 feet of vomit get out to do any such foolishness? I don't believe it.
It's a fair question, Doctor. How could it?
Well, according to accepted theory, the vampire dematerializes its body and reintegrates it outside the grave.
It's a good explanation, if you can believe it. And while I'm standing here listening to all this rubbish, there's a poor man in the garden in danger of a tetanus infection. Now, what should I do for him, Doctor? Shall I apply mercurochrome or 2% solution of bichloride?
Well, either will do. Get some gauze and some mercurochrome.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll wait here.
Difficult to believe, isn't it? It's impossible to believe. And yet, it would explain these deaths, wouldn't it?
Ah, Brett Schneider. Pardon our intrusion, Dr. von Niemann. But after what you saw last night, you'll be interested in this as well.
Well, what's happened?
Gringen was found dead an hour ago, with the 2 punctures in his neck and not a drop of blood in his body. And what's more, Herman Gleib has disappeared.
What?
Now you're convinced that we were right and you were wrong?
Thought it'd be proof enough for anybody. Gringen said Herman would get him, and he did.
Well, Brett Schneider?
I appoint you my deputy. Organize a searching party and comb this countryside from one end to the other. Find Herman Gleib and bring him in, but don't harm him. Do you understand?
What good will that do? He is a vampire. There's only one thing for us to do when we find him. Kill him and drive a stake through his
Herman
heart.
Gleib will be tried by a court of law. If the charge against him is proven true, the law will decide what to do with him, not you. Now get your men together and do as I tell you.
That's the way to talk.
I'm going into town for a little while, Doctor. Would you care to come along?
Oh, I hardly believe so. There's little to be done until they find the boy. If you need me then,
All right, thanks. I'll let you know.
I feel as though I was going to faint. Oh, there, Auntie, there's nothing here to be afraid of. Here comes Amos with your mercurochrome and bandages. Run along now and take care of that patient of yours.
Oh, heavens, I forgot all about him.
Oh, my heart. Oh. Poor Auntie. She's had every ailment in the book,
and a lot that aren't, I'm afraid.
particularly a palpitation of the auriculoventricular tricuspid and mitral valve, Doctor.
Well, I had to tell her something to satisfy her.
Hey, everybody, we're back on Chiller Theater. What do you think, my friend?
Hey, everybody!
No, I'm sorry. Well, you getting me to want to stop, or what's going on
No,
here?
I like it.
All right.
I need more of it.
How about the woman chirping, my friend? The chirping sounds, I really, really like those. You know what I mean? This movie, I enjoy. I enjoy it.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet, a place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match or cigarette and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody. Chiller Theater. Was that better for you?
Nice.
Was that, you know?
That was mellow.
Well, dude, I mean, again, I've done this for how many years, and now I'm feeling self-conscious and a little guilty.
Oh.
Much like I have my entire life. In many other ways, you know what I mean?
Oh.
I mean, guilt's a tough creature. You know what I'm saying?
Tough nut.
I think you and I almost had some contact here on the, you know what's funny? Dudes just aren't that good with contact. You know what I mean? Like, you know, put your hand there. I mean, if by mistake, you know, put your hand on the thing, whatever. And if by mistake the hands shall meet, you know, guys, you know, women, I don't even think they care. I don't even think they know, right? Dudes, it's like an electric jolt goes through you. You know, you're like, oh, help me. You know, and I don't know. I'm not sure why that is. Why is that?
I don't know.
You're doing well.
I don't know.
Well, thank you very much for that. Hey, everybody, we got something coming up for you now. Another Chiller Theater presents. This one is, it's called Joyride. Joyride is kind of, well, I don't know. I mean, it sort of speaks for itself. It's kind of like it's just bad things happen when young people and vehicles are combined, and you know they're not always their vehicles, and you know
they haven't outlawed that yet.
You think they have outlawed it, but that doesn't mean we're not going to show it here on Chiller Theater. So coming up, everybody, once again, it's Chiller Theater Presents, and then we'll take you directly back to the Vampire Bat.
Man, we need a car.
What a hot shot. Come on, let's go take a look at his car. Why do I want to take a look at his car? Hey, do you think your old man's ever gonna let you get a car? I don't know. The only thing he ever talks to me about is when I'm gonna get my next haircut. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I used to have a barber named Mr. Combs. Hey, let's see how fast this thing will do 0 to 60. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Well, that's done. Let's go call up the girls. Sounds good. I'll drive you over to the phone. Hey, I called them last time. You call them this time. Hey, we don't have much time. Come on, you call. You're better at that stuff than I am. Yeah, you did blow it the last time. I did not. You blew it. Okay, if I blew it, then you call him. Hey, man, I'm driving.
Hi, guys. Nice.
Come on, girls, let's go for a ride.
Well, what do you think? We have nothing else to do?
Well, if you want to sit around and be bored all day, that's fine with us.
I feel so free today.
Well, how do you like the car, girls?
I don't know.
It's all right. Rides well.
Tastes so good. Hey, Val. In about 5 minutes, Randall's going to find out his car's gone.
Doesn't he know you have it? He said he loaned it to you.
Oh, we kind of took it.
Swell. Let's go.
Got a hot date at 9. Gonna be there right on time. Trouble is late 55. If I'm gonna make up time. I gotta move down the line. Step on the pedal and make up time. I gotta step on the pedal and make up time.
Don't you think you're going a little fast?
Yeah, take it easy, Val.
Val, come on, slow down, please.
Oh, no. like we lost my little team anymore.
It's gotta stop moving!
You lost one. Just take it easy, huh? No, I gotta put some distance.
Here. You mustn't do that. Now, where's that finger?
You good like Martha. She give me apples. Herman like you.
Are you Herman?
Me, Herman. You give me apple. Herman give you nice, soft bat.
Oh, Aunt Gussie must be fresh out of Scooby Snacks.
What is it, Georgiana?
I just found this in Emil's room.
Well,
It belonged to my friend, Martha Mueller.
are you certain?
I gave it to her myself. Martha died last night. I find her crucifix in Emil's room. Doesn't that mean Emil is the one Herr Brettschneider is seeking?
This amazes me, Georgiana. It isn't possible.
It rained the night Von Elst died. There was mud on Emil's shoes the next morning.
Have you mentioned this to anyone?
I intend to tell Herr Brettschneider when he calls again.
Can't believe it. Leave this with me. I want to talk to Emil before you say anything to anyone.
The Burgermeister should know at once.
Yes, all in good time. Emil has been with me too long for us to jump to conclusions. Don't say anything until I tell you. Now send Emil to me.
Very well, Doctor. That's for the neuritis. And the pepsin, that Hassenpfeffer was tougher than shoe leather. And sweet spirit of nitre, that'll help, it won't do any harm. And ginger, that'll warm my stomach. And now, a little pipe out the soda.
going back to the village with us. Come on. We won't hurt you.
No, won't go. I'm afraid.
Come on. You're going with us, Herman.
No.
You're going with us.
No.
Come on, Herman.
No.
Come on, get him. Come on, Herman. We won't hurt you. Come on.
No. No. No.
Come, that settles him. Yes, let's go. We're coming down below.
Since the dawn of civilization, there's always been one drawback to living in towns.
The townspeople?
Yeah.
You've got to make certain.
I won't go down there.
Nobody asked you to. I'll go myself.
Can you see him?
He's on a ledge about 50 feet down. I'll get a rope. We've got to make certain, I tell you.
Hey, everybody
Everybody
back
on
on Chiller Theater. Let's do it together on 3. Hey, everybody, back on Chiller Theater. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, everybody, back on Chiller Theater. Ned, I have to ask you.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had trouble with the townspeople chasing you about
so many
the
times.
countryside?
Oh, yeah. If you ever see me running half naked down Broadway, very unusual here in Green Bay. Very upsetting.
I hate to lose Herman there.
Oh, I
That is,
know.
of course, character actor Dwight Fry, who's in a lot of the old Universal horror movies. And if he was around today, he'd be Steve Carell. He'd have his career.
Yeah,
He'd have a sitcom and a bunch of hit
Yeah,
movies.
and think of how much money, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
the dude who played the bit parts, as you
Just
say,
out of
today,
his time.
yeah, he would have absolutely been a rich man, no doubt.
Yeah.
And I was miffed when he gets whacked. It bothers. You know what I'm saying?
People suck.
Yeah, people do suck. I agree with you. I hate that. As do our movies. So let's head back. Here we go.
Nice.
Okay, that's a segment.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm smooth.
Right in there.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Tommy, what?
I only have one cavity.
Well, great, but...
Only one?
Yeah. How'd you do it? Well,
We switched to crest.
Oh, sure, the Crest. Rob, baby. Tony, he brushed with a lot of toothpastes. But Crest? The old happy ending.
Of the 5 leading toothpastes, only one has the fluoride Floristan, Crest, the cavity fighter.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody, back on Chiller Theater. There it is again, my friend. Quit making me self-conscious. Go ahead.
Isn't it kind of fun after the Mexican horror movies we showed, and we're trying to be respectful of our Hispanic audience, and now we have a good old movie with lots of German names in.
No, I know.
You know, Kleinschlaus.
Well, we
Isn't that the
try
name
to
of the
Frau
hell?
Schnappen.
What is that?
Yeah, we try to, we're
Breck Schneider.
again, we're never picking on anyone. We get the movies, and, it's not like we're picking the movies, friends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a higher power when it comes to movie picking going on here. And as much as you think that, and Ned he and Doc must love those same movies over and over. Well, not necessarily the case. I mean, we love the movies, but, if I had my druthers, I wouldn't have aired them 14 times each. But again, you do what you got to do to maintain here in the world nowadays. You basically, you go with the flow. Is that right, Doc?
And soul.
All right, let's go with the flow and soul. That's right, ho, ho, ho.
And flow.
That's right. See you later. Let's go.
You must be careful, Emil. Very careful.
must be, it must be. She's no better than the rest. I've got to go on.
Ew, some kind of horrible throbbing growth? Is it a tumor?
It is not a tumor.
Ew, ew, ew.
Doc. Just think of it as what it probably is. Chocolate sauce.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Doctor. Good evening. I'm sorry to have to disturb you, Doctor, but we simply couldn't make Georgiana hear the bell.
That's quite all right, my dear. Georgiana's becoming careless. Very careless.
Yes, I've noticed that, too. In my opinion, she has Nagana. That's sleeping sickness. You know the symptoms, Doctor. At first, I thought it was creeping paralysis, so I stuck a pin in her leg to see, and there was a splendid reaction of the reflex motor nerve. Why, Auntie, you're shocked. So was she.
Won't you join me in some coffee? Yes, thanks, Doctor. We will. There are a few questions I'd like to ask you, Paul.
About blood and murders and vampires, I suppose.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Well, so am I. Well, good night. If such a thing is possible, I'm going to bed.
Won't you join us too, Frau Schnappmann?
Coffee at this hour of the night? No, thank you. I'm going to stick to my monad Vester suicide salad. Acid, Doctor, acid. Good night.
I believe the good doctor is experiencing mal de touche, acute distress localized deep within the gluteus maximus.
What's the news in the village, Carl? Have they located Herman yet?
No, not a trace of him. I hate to think of that poor misfit being hunted down like a dog. You know, I simply can't bring myself to believe in that vampire theory.
Will you, Paul?
Certainly.
I know, Carl. Our saner, calmer judgment tells us that such things can't be, and yet, here, for instance, in this ponderous tome, are cited 1,001 phobias and complexes that human beings are heir to. Some of them are strange, more untenable even than werewolves and vampires. Could I have some more, please?
You drink entirely too much coffee.
That's my one weakness. And also my excuse for tolerating Georgiana's laxity and other things. She does know how to make good coffee. Thank you. She brings it to me every night at exactly 10 o'clock. And when I've drunk it all, then I know it's time to quit.
Yes, and eat breakfast so you can have more coffee.
No.
Georgiana, you mustn't fly like that. You'll get yourself a try to cool it. No, just yet. Just yet.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes.
And we were worried about Fay Ray.
That was Auntie. Auntie. Oh, my God. I'm all right. I'm all right now.
David, help Frau snap into her room.
I'm still in imagination. I'm making Georgia.
The same 2 wounds, Doctor.
My last words to her were angry ones. A petulant reprimand for being late with my coffee.
What time is that?
About 2 or 3 minutes after 10.
She's been dead then about 45 minutes. Bloodless like the rest. It passes all belief. Ruth's aunt saw Herman Gleib in the garden this morning. Could it be that he... You were the first one here. What happened?
I was in my room reading. My door was open. I must have dozed off for a minute or so because I awoke to hear Frau Schnappmann scream.
You say your door was open?
Yes, my room is very poorly ventilated.
And you saw nothing? Heard nothing unusual?
Nothing.
Carl.
What is it?
This crucifix belonged to Martha. See who it is, Emil.
Can you positively identify this as belonging to Martha?
Without a doubt. I saw it in her room the night she died.
How in the world did it get here?
Herman Gleib was in her room. He had that crucifix in his hands. And Herman was here today.
Maybe here now, for all we know.
Oh, my ears will be ringing for a while.
Oh, you know, I can't do what I used to. When I was a young man, for instance, I went through a period of a couple of weeks where I was just talking like Dolomite all the time. Do you remember Dolomite? I am Dolomite. I chained the lightning and put thunder but in jail. That deal, I talked like Dolomite for a long period of time. And then it wrecked my voice on me, and I was unable to do it. And, you know, it's kind of like the Mr. T. Hey, boy. Hey, you look mighty fine. You know that? I can't do that as much. Let's go.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Lionel Trains, the only model trains with Magna Traction, proudly present the Joe DiMaggio Show. Starring the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio himself, with Jack Barry.
Hey, Joe, how's the meeting going?
Hi, Jack. Fine, just swell. How about telling the story about the young friend of yours and the dream he had that came true?
Well, yes, Joe, it's a wonderful story, and I'll bet that all of our club members have had the same dream at one time or another. Well, Tommy knew exactly what he wanted for Christmas. He wanted an electric train. He had the whole thing in his mind, even to the table where he was going to set it up. Sitting there at the table, he could picture the whole thing, and he would dream so hard that the whole thing would come to life right before his eyes. Of course, Tommy was a pretty strong wisher, and what he started wishing for was a pretty fancy-looking train set with locomotive and freight cars, and the station and the gateman, the water tower, and all kinds of wonderful equipment and accessories. So grand that you might think Tommy was wishing for something that just didn't exist. But Tommy knew what he was wishing for. And sure enough, on Christmas morning, Tommy's dream came true. Because Tommy had told his father that he wanted Lionel. Just the low-priced Lionel Scout train set with a few Lionel accessories. Yes, even the simplest of Lionel train sets and track layouts is a wonderful, thrilling, complete model railroad. That's because it's made by Lionel. Lionel, the originator of the electric model train, makers of the most realistic, scale-detailed model train equipment. Lionel, the only model train with Magna traction.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody, back on Chiller. Stop it. Stop it. You're making me self-conscious.
Isn't it strange? Carl finally has the idea that maybe he's going to go along with everybody else thinking that Herman is the vampire. But we know Herman's dead. But Carl doesn't know Herman's dead because they got no cell phones in the old days.
And
I mean, we're spoiled nowadays because you get information like that.
You know what I did? I made the mistake on my cell phone of going to check. I got my bill, and of course it was 860 pages because I have a teenage child. So I made the mistake of looking at the actual thing to see, and I noticed that there was a period of 142 hours straight that there was texting going on. Ooh. It's like, how can one do that? What do you sleep for 3 minutes and then get up and go, and then, right back down. I mean, and I've always said, you can have a 10-minute conversation and it would be 3 days of texting in 10 minutes, and then you could have a life.
Who is it? Oh.
How is she?
She's had a real shock this time, but she'll be all right. I'm putting her to bed.
Leave her there. Don't let her out of this room. And don't you leave it either.
Oh, what do you mean?
It looks as if Herman Blythe is the killer after all. It's possible he may be hiding here in the castle.
Well, what makes you think so?
I'll tell you later. Stay in your room and keep your door locked.
Don't worry about that.
I heard every word he said, and I don't think there's any use of them searching for Herman. They should look for a dog, a human-faced dog.
Honey, the doors and windows are all locked. There's nothing to be afraid of now.
Who said I was afraid? I'm not a bit afraid.
No, of course you're not afraid, but you must get some rest.
Rest in this awful place? With dog-faced Hermans and human-faced bats and blood and murders and vampires.
Oh, my.
Blood and murders and vampires.
Oh, my.
Blood and murder and vampires.
Oh, my.
Find anything, Carl?
There's an unbroken cobweb in that window. If Herman did it, he came through the door.
He must have. And yet I don't understand how he could find his way up here without us hearing him. Yet Emil was asleep, and I was in the library. Yes, he could have done it. The facts all point to it. What was it, Emil?
The Burgermeister. He has news for Herr Brettschneider about Herman.
Oh.
Pardon the intrusion, Doctor. Pardon the intrusion. I knew Carl was here, and I thought you wouldn't mind if I ran in to tell him the news.
About Herman?
Yes. He fell into the Devil's Well in the cave.
He's dead?
Dead as a doornail. This ends our troubles, Carl. The vampire's dead. I can feel it in my bones.
Well, your bones may be wrong. What time did this happen?
Quite early, about 9 o'clock. The cave is nearly 2 hours from here. That's why we didn't hear it sooner.
Well, it may interest you to know that there's been another death after your vampire died. Dr. von Niemann's housekeeper. Right here in her own room.
Mother of mercy. What are we going to do?
But a natural death wouldn't kill a vampire, Carl. You know the accepted theory. A stake driven through the heart.
Oh, yes, that's the theory, all right.
But...
But what?
But they did. They drove a stake through his heart.
Good God, are we living in the Middle Ages?
It wasn't through my sanction, Carl. Basawa did it. He told me so himself.
Well, that ends the vampire theory as far as I'm concerned. Herman Blythe died in the accepted fashion for killing a vampire. Oh, no, there's some human agency at work here, Doctor. A madman who kills to satisfy some violent, sadistic urge.
Yes, you're right, Carl. I've been a fool, a superstitious fool.
Did they leave his body in the cave?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Well, in view of what's happened, don't you think you owe him a decent burial?
You're right. In view of what has happened, we do owe him that, Carl. I'll see to it at once, this very instant. And I'll make arrangements for Georgiana's removal to the morgue. Good night, Doctor. Pardon the intrusion.
Good night, Gustav.
Pardon the intrusion.
Well, here I am, just where I started weeks ago. There isn't a single theory that doesn't lead straight into a stone wall. I jested about this vampire business because my better judgment told me it was a lot of nonsense. Then I reached the point where I was willing to accept even that, because it seemed to satisfy the equation. All of us are a bit superstitious. I don't know which way to turn, where to look, what to look for. Why should anyone want human blood? Why? Why?
Calm yourself, Carl.
Calm myself. Calm myself. With all these unsolved murders staring me in the face and no solution in sight? How much blood is there in the human body, Doctor?
About 6 liters, approximately.
Can you think of any purpose for which that amount of blood might be used?
No. Not even in transfusion.
That's the point which stops me. There isn't any other use for human blood. Murderers leave clues. And these atrocities are murders, Doctor. Those simple fools in the village can believe what they like, but you and I are sane, thinking people. And you know and I know, Doctor, that these are murders. The last one was done here. In this very house, right under this roof. All right, I'll start here. I'm going over every foot of this place, both inside and out. Nobody, sane or insane, is clever enough to get away with murder without leaving a clue of some sort. And I'm going to find that clue.
Come, Carl. You mustn't let your nerves run away with you. Here. These will have to give you a good night's sleep. If there are any clues, they'll be here in the morning when your nerves are calm and your mind is clear. Take my advice and go home and rest.
I imagined 1,000 demons were after me as I came down those stairs.
Ruth, didn't I tell you to stay in your room?
Yes, but I wanted the doctor to come up and quiet Auntie. You know, it isn't her imagination this time.
Of course, Ruth. I'll come right away. Take my advice, young man. Go home and go to bed.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Ruth.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Doctor.
Hey, everybody, here we are. All right, what do you got, man?
I just wanted to show off Inga's poison pills.
Yeah.
Because you see them in the movie for all of 3/4 of a second, and she did a good job on that.
That's right. There was a knock at the door during taping. What time is it? It's like 1:45 in the morning. Who the heck is possibly knocking at the door? It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, we get people here. It's active and exciting and tons of fun, my friend. All right, everybody, let's head her out here. We're going to go see some stuff, and then we'll come back for the conclusion. Get.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
From the world of tomorrow comes a thrilling new television series, Lost in Space. Here are the amazing adventures of a group of space pioneers marooned on an uncharted planet. Adventure as challenging as tomorrow, as far out as the stars. Spectacle beyond imagination as the astronauts struggle for survival in a strange new world, where incredible dangers seem to wait at every turn. Intriguing, thrilling, challenging. These are the adventures you will share. Lost in Space.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, everybody, we're back on Chiller Theater. I love these things. If you can see, I don't know if you can tell, we're wearing the horrible, what do we call them? The
Popeyes.
eye-popping amazement. Now, you've seen these before on Chiller Theater. I guess what we're doing here is foreshadowing. Is that right?
Yes.
And
Next week is the movie that these originated in.
That's right. And what movie is that, my friend?
Killers from Space.
That's right. And what we've come to realize is there's an old adage in television that says that children and dogs, if you put children or dogs in your thing, it's going to be great no matter what. For us, the old adage is just put the damn Popeyes in and life is good on Chiller Theater. You know what? We could basically say nothing for the entire show, and as long as we're wearing these stupid eyes, they are, life is good. Now, speaking of eyes, and I don't want to wreck the illusion that you thought that we maybe actually grew these during the, let me just say, I rarely grow anything during Chiller Theater, if you know what I mean. Now, rarely, of course, I did use that disclaimer. Having said that, I realize that most of the show I've had my stupid glasses on since I'm now middle-aged, and I've got quadrifocals. I've actually have, there's, the regular 3, and then I have a certain focal length just for when I go to the bathroom, so I can actually hit the urinal. That's the 4th. They add it for the dudes who are actually really impaired. And I realized I look like a total idiot, so I'd like to apologize for wearing. They fit nicely into my clump of hair, though, don't they? You don't even know I have them, do you? Quit looking at me like that. You're creeping me out. Let's go!
If his lights are on, you must wait, Emil. Wait until he has gone to bed. Handle him as you did the others, Emil. You are strong. Very strong. I am waiting for you. Waiting for you to bring him to the laboratory.
You're the one. What mad thing are you doing?
Mad? Is one who has solved the secret of life to be considered mad? Life, created in the laboratory. No mere crystalline growth, but tissue. Living, growing tissue. Life that moves, pulsates, and demands food for its continued growth. Huh. You shudder in horror. So did I the first time. But what are a few lives to be weighed in the balance against the achievement of biological science? Think of it. I have lifted the veil. I have created life. Wrested the secret of life from life. Now do you understand? For the lives of those who have gone before, I have created life.
I'll tell Carl.
You may. For tonight, Carl's name will be added to yours. And all of those whom this achievement will immortalize.
I didn't take your sleeping tablets, Doctor.
Emil brought them here. He's the one who murdered them.
Stay where you are. You'll have a chance to tell everything, Doctor.
I'll take care of von Niemann. Get her out of here.
You stay here. Von Niemann and Emil.
Doctor! Dr. Von Neumann! Carl, you mustn't see them. Where is Dr. Van Neumann? I must see him immediately. I've got to. You can't. He can't be disturbed. Oh, but I must see him. I simply must. Well, that hydrous magnesium sulfate is affecting me most peculiarly. You pardon me?
Hydrous magnesium sulfate. Well, that's Epsom salts.
friends, I realized after the last segment we had those eyes in. I constantly have a weeping eye. I did, during the week, a lot of times, I got a little sticky, itchy stuff. A lot of times during the week, I'll wake up with a fused eye. I love when that happens. Generally now, the older I get, the more orifices are fused during the night, and I don't know how that happens. I'll wake up, my eye is fused closed, one nostril is stuck down to my philtrum or my septum or whatever, and its suffix is always nasal in nature. And I realized that, like, for instance, this horrible, stupid makeup that I wear, and I'll tell you right now, it's makeup. Dude, it's fine. Yeah, sure. Yeah, now, here's what I realized. I've used the same little paintbrush, the same little makeup tube, and the same even the same little sponge for 11 years straight. It's the same, and they say now, throw your makeup away after 3 weeks or the bacteria's in there. Bacteria, friends. I have got a culture brewing in my right eye that would level a rhinoceros. So just be real careful. All right, friends, thanks for watching tonight. I'll go ahead and throw it back here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks to the sponsors. Thank you, the TV viewers. We love you. We need you, or what?
Thanks for watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Remember to check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.